Hello and welcome to this instructional video on how to use Markdown as a language. This video is going to be used to supplement the Jedi Brotherhood Shadow Academy course Markdown 101. This is in no way an exhaustive video on how to use the language. It's just going to be a supplement. As I said, it's going to be a very basic introduction. Please refer to the docent halls in the first instance. They will be your main source of information. There's various different items here on basic formatting to structure, to headers, to lists, anything that you might ever need. Today I'm going to give you an overview briefly of how to use formatting, on how to use links, on how to use lists. This is all going to be done in an online Markdown editor, and that's called Dillinger. Dillinger is DILLINGER.io. I've got a few bits and bobs that I've already written here, and I've also got an ACC judgment that I've done previously that I thought was a good example of Markdown in action. Now, in short, Markdown is the main language that is used by the Dark Jedi Brotherhood in reports, anti-combat centre, which is ACC posts, anything that you might see that's user-generated content on the website is usually constructed and completed with Markdown. To go to the very first instance of Markdown usage, you're going to have bolds and italics. So to create a bold word, you need to either use asterisks or underscores. You need to use two of those on either side of the word, so they're your brackets of the word. So you can see here that we've got the word strong with two asterisks either side flanking the word. That creates a strong emphasized word there. If I do the same with underscores, you'll see the same thing. There we go. So the preview box on the right shows exactly the same, regardless of whether that's asterisks or underscores. You can stack these, so if I add another underscore to either side of those, you'll see that strong is now italicized and it's bold. Now, that is because one underscore on either side or one asterisk on either side of a word makes the word itself italicized. This can be confusing, it can cause issues. It's very simple, very easy workaround that I've devised, and that is to use one particular character for strong and one particular character for emphasized. So I tend to use asterisk for strong and underscore for italics. So to that extent, you'll see here that we've got two asterisks on either side, which means that the word is going to be bold, and then one underscore on either side, which means it'll be italicized. It does work the other way, so if you want to work in the other way, I've got here two underscores either side of the word aardvark, and one asterisk, which does exactly the same thing. It bolds the word and it italicizes the word. To create a list, all you need to do is really simple. One little dash, the word, enter, the next dash, the word, enter, next dash, the word, enter. So what you have there is it automatically understands that the dash means a bullet point. To do that with numbers, you have to do the number followed by a period or full stop, and then you have your item A to item B, etc., 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 and that will give you a numbered list. One of the big things that people tend to see and people tend to query is the quote option in Markdown. Now, to do that, the simplest thing to do is to use the right arrow, and then you can pop your text in, copy and paste your text in. Apologies for the spelling. And you'll see here that it's quoted, and that's denoted by this grey sort of box on the left-hand side of the text. In the Dark Jedi Brotherhood website, that'll be slightly different. Slightly different in formatting. It'll likely be italicized and shunted forwards somewhat. You can't then hit enter and have your text continue. So if I add in some more text there, it's just not going to work. There's no way to distinguish between the two. So obviously it automatically assumes that it's new text. So the way I've done this here is I've put the right hand arrow on each of the lines of the paragraph that I want to quote, and then beyond that we move into, obviously, hit the enter bar, not the enter bar, the enter button, and you are on to the next line of text, which means that you can carry on. The final thing that I'm going to show you today is how to create links. So if I take you to the bottom of the page and I give you two square brackets, open and close. In there I'm going to write Dark Jedi Brotherhood, and then I'm going to open normal brackets and put in Dark Jedi Brotherhood.com, close those brackets. What you'll see there on Dillinger is on the right hand side I now have a link. So if I right click on that, open link in new tab, that didn't work well, did it? Okay, so HTTP. There we go, we're away. So, sorry, I didn't include the HTTP there. What you have to do is the fundamentals of creating a link are square brackets first, then standard brackets after that. So you have your text that you want to display in the square brackets, and then the link to which the text is going to link in the standard brackets. As you can see, it obviously works. So yeah, that sort of concludes this particular episode. Please do carry on watching the videos. Please do use the Shadow Academy. It's a fantastic resource. You know, our skills would be nowhere without the people who put together these courses. So please carry on.